All right, y'all. So I just feel compelled by the Holy Spirit to just show y'all, like, if you on my channel and you see the information that's on my channel, you should be asking yourself, like, if you not the type of person that's in a hate group, or if you not the type of black person that feel like we slaves in America and that people should be raping a little boy that belongs to a black woman to death and then setting her up pregnant outside, then I want y'all to see this is how they trying to set me up for Austin Metter, my baby daddy who I'm pregnant by. So before I explain to y'all what I just seen from the Holy Spirit about Austin Metter, I want to show y'all the baby that's alive in me, and they got the entire neighborhood riding around trying to starve the baby to death, and the Most High says that I have a multi-million-dollar lawsuit about it, and they got all of the black people in the community trying to help white hate groups try to starve the baby to death. Today is June 1st, 2023. I recorded this footage this morning at a bus stop on Meadow Glen Lane here in Houston, Texas. I needed to tell you all what I saw in the spirit while I was asleep here. So I recorded this footage as soon as I woke up. I was somewhere with the baby's father. His name is Austin John Metter. Some people say Medor. I say Metter. Austin John Metter. And I saw these young black women in the spirit. They were outside. I felt the presence of a black male, a young black male that was a gang member. I saw maybe about 2 or 3 young black women. Their hair, one of them, she was darker skinned than I am. She was beautiful. She was pretty, and her hair was straightened. She was running and looking back as if she were afraid. Like she did not want this individual to talk to her, bother her. She was afraid. Then I ended up in a room with Austin Metter. I recall seeing him with something in his hand where there were like a list of songs. There were some black songs, like from black artists. I don't know their names, but I felt it through the Holy Spirit and I saw the list. And then at the top of the list, there was a song and something that said Nazi 54. After that, I believe I saw Austin Metter wiping off his genitals, like with a baby wipe or something. Then I saw a black man's genitals erect, and it looked like he had been extremely turned on, like it was kind of wet. And I don't know if I saw Austin Metter holding it, or it was something about some type of homosexuality, I believe, in the spirit. Then I saw, well, I had told him that something was disrespectful before I saw the black male. I was like, it was disrespectful. And it was something sexual. And like, you know, when you do something sexual in front of someone, or someone's about to come in and you're doing something sexual and it's like disrespectful. And I saw him lying down naked in the bed where he did not have on any underwear, or he didn't have on a shirt. And he was kind of skinny. There was some drug use, I remember, and it looked like he had been using. So I woke up pregnant at this bus stop, and I thought, like, when I saw the black women running and they looked afraid, that's kind of how they should feel if my baby daddy, if you know my story, he was assaulting me and he was raping me while pregnant. They are lying about it. because I shot him in self-defense. And as a woman, I dealt with the other side of him as well. So the baby is alive in me, and they are trying to starve my pregnancy. They have hospitals saying that I'm not pregnant. They held me in a jail cell, starving me for 11 months, saying that they were letting Austin Metter rape my little boy to death. My other child that I have with him, with his mother, Cynthia Olvera, and his father, Joseph Olvera, with the KKK. They said they were also raping my little boy with the Black Freemason Brotherhood, criminals, and inmates, along with drug dealers who are just criminals. I have never seen my little boy again, and they have the entire state of Texas setting me up outside pregnant, trying to starve this baby to death that's alive, since I was released on the charges for shooting Austin Metter. Now, they've had a judge say that they could have custody of my little boy while I was in the jail on the charges, after they told me that they were raping him to death, giving him AIDS, herpes, and worms, is what they told me. That they were sodomizing him and forcing him to give them oral sex. And they have women's shelters, my family and black women, black men, leaving me pregnant outside, where they're trying to allow Target, Walmart, different businesses to be involved with trying to starve my pregnancy to death. They're having hospitals lie about the pregnancy, and God is saying that I have a multi-million-dollar lawsuit and that I am about to receive a multi-million-dollar settlement about the pregnancy. God said that it was self-defense, that I could not get Austin Metter to stop hitting me. Now that I saw the word Nazi, I understand why he was color abusing me. And I am also a Christian. I believe in Jesus and Jehovah. Right now, I am inside of the Galleria Mall, where I was able to charge my phone and work on this video. But I took some screenshots to show you all the proof of the date, that today is June 1st, 2023. The baby is still alive in me. I have a hell of a story that's all over social media. I have 22 YouTube channels, 4 TikTok channels, a Tumblr, Instagram, and God knows what else, Pinterest as well. So you guys can understand my story a little bit. I actually want to tell you guys a little detail about the shooting. So I shot him in the leg in self-defense of me and my little boy that was 22 months old. So he was abusing me and my son. I did not know that the baby was still alive in me until I was in the jail for about 3 or 4 weeks. I knew that I was pregnant inside of my home when Austin Metter was assaulting me, but I started bleeding, so I thought that the baby had, passed through the blood and that it died because it was like at the beginning stages. But turns out the baby was still alive, and they denied me the medical care inside of the Montgomery County Jail in Conroe, Texas. And as a result, there were hospitals that got involved to try to help them cover up that they had starved me, denying me medical care for up to 11 months. So this is my story. It's all over social media. You're welcome to come to my channel and just kind of browse through the videos on my channels so that you can kind of get a better understanding. So Austin Metter did survive the shooting, and he survived to say that he was raping my little boy to death with his mother, Cynthia Olvera, for me shooting him in the leg. So Cynthia Olvera, his mother, told me that she paid to have the baby killed. She said it was because I was black, and she said that she was raping my little boy to death. And there is a judge saying that Cynthia Olvera can have custody of my little boy, and they're covering up that they said that they were raping him to death, and they're trying to stop from paying me a settlement. So this video of me lying down in the bathroom is in the family lounge in the Galleria Mall. And I want you guys to know that I lied down just to kind of show you all the baby moving as I was laying down. And I want y'all to understand that I have a fuller version to explain to you all a little more about the abuse that I went through and the time frame of how long they abused the pregnancy. And I cannot save that video right now. I'm going to save it a little later. But this video... So... I'm in the mall. I can't control what people are doing around me. But this fuller video is like an hour long. My phone is not allowing me to store it at a very high pixel or a very high quality. So it's going to have the same footage of the baby moving, but it's going to have more information about police reports and things like that. So I will leave this video in the description box of the fuller version so you all can see clearer videos of the baby moving, because I can save a shorter video with higher pixels and with a better video quality and resolution. Now, as far as the fuller version, I will leave this video showing the baby in clips more clearer. That way, once you listen to the fuller version, you can see the little baby alive in me very clearly. I also want to tell you all, and I am so excited, that the Lord has said that I have a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. This is why it is very important for you all to listen to the full version so you will understand why the Lord is saying that we have that type of lawsuit. That is a massive amount of money. So I want everyone to understand the full details that would like to help us to win our case. God said that I am going to receive a multi-million-dollar settlement about the pregnancy. So he has confirmed that I am going to win. And I am very excited about this. I have also loaded a video about me seeing the settlement is coming to us very soon. So I'm asking for the right people to go ahead and view my videos to see how it is that you can be of assistance to us. As you can see, I'm still at a bus stop, and that's not the ideal place for me and a little baby. I need to tell you all some of the details about what Austin Metter was doing to abuse me. The reason why I feel is because when I see that word Nazi, then I feel so much come back to me, the memories of what he was doing to us. So Austin Metter was actually abusing me from like the time that we started dating. I started noticing the abuse, and he was like forcing me to stay with him, like through physical control. And I stayed with him, and we got a place together. The violence continued where he was charged. And I got pregnant by him after he was released on a probation. And he continued to abuse me while I was pregnant with my firstborn, my little boy that they took, saying that they raped. And my little boy almost died when he was born. So I moved to a different residence, and he had tore up my entire residence where this unit was in my name. The first unit that we had, it was in both of our names. And the second unit is where he was abusing me pregnant, and I had to go to the hospital several times because I did not know if my son was alive in me. And he almost died when he was born. He could not breathe. I remember after Austin Metter was hitting me while I was pregnant with my son, I would feel my son moving more sluggish than originally before he was hitting me. So the type of things that he was doing to me, he was punching me in my head. He had put me in a chokehold. He was slinging me around the room, and he was chasing me. He was grabbing my legs when I was trying to run away from him. He was pushing me and shoving me like in the direction that he wanted me to go, like when I was trying to get away from him. He would pin me down to the ground and put his hand over my mouth and tell me not to scream for help. When I was pregnant with my son, he picked me up by my baby bump when I was in my 3rd trimester, and he hurt my stomach really bad, and that's when my baby boy started moving really sluggish, and it was hurting me. And I started going to the hospital because I didn't know if he was alive in me, my little boy. And when he was born, he couldn't breathe. He almost died as a result of Austin Metter doing this. He fought me continuously in public, in stores, on the streets when I tried to just walk away and give him some time at home. He would follow me up the road and assault me. When my son was still a baby, he destroyed our apartment, kicking holes, punching holes, tearing up my apartment and my vehicle. He started channeling his anger towards my newborn baby, where he was throwing things at him, and he was assaulting me in front of him, where my little boy almost got hurt. Austin Metter, he was kicking me and punching me in my breast. I would try to drive away, and he would jump on the back of the car and kick the window to try to break the window to stop me from driving away from him. When I got pregnant with this baby that I'm carrying, Austin Metter had been he had just got out of prison. So I had called the police on him so that he could be removed from my home before he went to prison. I told the Conroe Police, where I lived in Conroe, Texas, that I did not feel safe with my little boy inside of my home because Austin Metter was like ransacking my unit. So when I called the police, he would not calm down, and they arrested him. He was already on probation for assault. So he went to prison when my little boy was like 5 or 6 weeks old. He spent 19 months. So my little boy was about 21 months when Austin Metter was released from prison. And he came back to my apartment, and we were saying that we were going to work things out. And I know that I missed my period like a month after he got out of the prison. But he was already abusing me, and he was ramming me into walls. And by this time, he was abusing my little boy as well. And he was knocking him on his head. He was knocking me over furniture. I started bleeding, and I told Austin Metter while he was assaulting me that I had started bleeding. This was due to Austin raping me, where I told Austin that I did not want to have sex. He was forcing me to have sex with him, where I started bleeding. So while he was assaulting me, I was screaming that I'm bleeding, and he continued to try to pick me up and slam me down. The day that I shot Austin Metter, I was trying to get out of my home to find help. I had been calling the police. I had been calling a lot because he started punching my little boy, and he started knocking him down a lot in every room in my home. He kept knocking my little baby, knocking him on his head while he was assaulting me. So he was assaulting me, and then he was assaulting my son at the same time. So I wanted him to leave my home. I did not want to work it out anymore. I thought that the baby had died in me because I was bleeding so much on the toilet. The day that I shot Austin Metter, I was bleeding while pregnant with this baby that you see alive in me. I had contacted the police and told them that I wanted to press charges, but Austin Metter was fleeing
to his mother's home in Magnolia, Texas. Her name is Cynthia Olvera. She's the one that said that she was raping my little boy to death with the KKK because I shot Austin Metter in the leg in self-defense. So the day that I shot Austin Metter, I asked him to leave my home, and he started choking me and abusing me and my son. He was like ramming me into walls, stopping me from calling the police, and trying to barricade me inside of my home and assault us. So I had a .380 handgun, and I was able to put the handgun in my purse and run with my little boy out of my home. But I couldn't call the police because I was running, and I was screaming for someone else to call the police. I even flagged down some people, but they were scared. They did not want to get out of the car while he was trying to assault me in the middle of the street while I was trying to run away with my child and my little boy in my arms. So they said they would call 911, and I went into a restaurant because they ran him off a little bit when they said they were calling 911, but he came back after me when I went inside of a restaurant called Baytown Seafood Restaurant and asked them to call 911 for me because I came in so quickly that I just hurried and asked someone to call the police for me, and I needed someone to know what he was doing to me. And I did not pull a gun on him at all. And so when he came inside of the restaurant looking for me, I thought I was safe until he left out of the restaurant and came back in and saw me hiding behind the man that I asked to dial 911. He was an employee, I believe a manager. And so he started assaulting me, and I had put my son down, and he started assaulting me, and he was knocking me down into the booths in the restaurant, and he was assaulting my son. And the man that called 911 tried to restrain Austin Metter, but there was no way that he could get him to stop being violent with us. And I shot Austin Metter in the leg. And so they arrested me